fine day to you. Thank you for clicking on this video. My name is Nick, and in response to you clicking on the video, I better review Beverly Hills Cop on the ZX Spectrum 48K. This one was published by Tynesoft in 1990, and of course based on the film Beverly Hills Cop from the 80s, starring Eddie Murphy as Axel Foley. Now, it's a game over 4 stages, 4 mini-games if you will, a side-scrolling sort of beat-em-up, shoot-em-up thing, a driving element, an overhead sort of like shooter, and a first-person shooter as well. Now, I already reviewed this on the Commodore Amiga. I wasn't overly impressed, so we'll see how this gets on here. Okay, now the best bit of this game is the music, if you want to load that up separately, but I won't dwell on it. So there's the 4 stages. What is good about this game is you don't have to play it in a linear sort of way. Well done, Nick, I got there in the end. The Amiga version, you had to play it all one after the other. I did have some cheats lined up for this, but because you can play each individual section, I won't use them, and I will edit down load times. Okay, here we go. So I'm this guy here. Little bit of colour clash going on, but you must shoot all these people in this warehouse for reasons unknown. So it's a bit like a RoboCop sort of element here. So do your own RoboCop music if you want. But this is Axel Foley. Does it look like Axel Foley? No. Notice there's a very small line around all the characters. That's to try and stop colour bleed as much as possible, I think. They've sort of done okay. Now, no stage in this game relates to another stage in the game. I don't know how it relates to the actual film itself. Not at all, I'd imagine. But it's got a license, and it does feel a bit like the Amiga version. It's 4 mini games that were not strong enough to hold up in their own right for a full game, so they put them all together and then got this licensed Beverly Hills Cop over the top. So this is in 1990. I think there was a later Beverly Hills Cop game on the PlayStation or PlayStation 2. Let me know about that. Movie was by Paramount. Also come out, as well as the Amiga, also come out, as far as I'm aware, the Amstrad CPC and the Commodore 64. I'm sure it plays similar on those sort of systems, but let me know if it doesn't. It holds together okay. It's not very exciting. Well, it's not exciting at all, is it really? So we probably won't complete any stage unless I have a touch of genius here. So we'll just touch on all 4 stages, see if there's any element you can, well, get any warmth towards. But I suppose because you can jump to any stage, if there is one minigame you like more than the others, you could concentrate just on that one and forget the other ones actually existed. So it seems quite average so far, but you know, it does animate quite well. I can't be too cruel on it. I do like that shadowy brickwork in the background there. With the lights above, that's quite nice. So graphically it looks okay for a ZX Spectrum game, but bear in mind this is 1990, so it is competing at this stage against the 16-bit systems, and I think it would have struggled. If it came out in 1985, then brilliant, but when did Beverly Hills Cop the film come out? I'm not sure. Must have been a similar time. But there are pokes for immunity, unlimited time and all that sort of shenanigans, but we won't use them here. You don't get any sort of like major game over sequence, it just goes to the next one. Now each stage is a bit of tape loading between levels, which I'm not a big fan of because it breaks up the gameplay. But we'll edit those down so we won't have to wait ages and ages because they're at a certain point on the tape. How are we doing here? Well, not very well. I try and avoid the bullets, but it's hard if they're the same colour as the background. There's a bit of a clicking sound when you shoot your gun, but it's ZX Spectrum territory, so I won't blame the beeper for that. Can't quite see where my energy levels are. They might be here somewhere hidden. But as soon as you're dead, and that's it. So the next stage is a driving game, which I'll have a go at after this point. The driving game on the Amiga version didn't look at all like Beverly Hills. Looks very, very windy. We'll see how the ZX Spectrum one compares. Are you liking this game so far? I think the answer is you're not sure, or you might do. If you owned it back in the day, let me know. Bit of loading to go on in a little bit. It's a car chase. Now, it seems like we're in the park. Game on, it says. We need to find a van as we turn our purple or pink steering wheel. Interesting colour choice. It's got cockpit view and chase view at the same time, so don't get confused. But everything is a bit green. The horizon is blue. Blue mountains, Beverly Hills. Oh yeah. Okay, a little bit of undulation that's good there. The driving game, I have touched on each of the sections already before I reviewed this, but the driving game, believe it or not, is probably the best bit. But I'm a sucker for driving games. You've got to fire a missile at that van. If you crash into it, it goes splat. fire a missile, and then they pull over a bit like Chase HQ, and you can nab them. And I think you have to nab a number of vans before getting to the next stage. Does it look like Beverly Hills? No. They don't have arrows like a race circuit pointing in what way the corner bends. And yeah, very straight the roads in Beverly Hills, I believe. Here, not really doing stuff. I get the occasional beep. We've hit that van and we've caught them. So hooray for us. What do we get for that? Nothing much. That's about it really. Engine sounds are a bit wheedly, even for the Spectrum beeper, which quite often I will let off. Do I like this game so far? Well, not really. It's varied. It's a bit like getting a cheap tape with lots of different mini games on, and you make do with it because it's so cheap. As a normal game here together, my favourite game, if you're looking for a weird one where it's lots of mini games put together, and it is very strange, is Future Games, which I reviewed quite some time ago. So check out the review for that one. If you want to play a rather odd game, then Future Games has a nice curio to it. It's got a feeling all to its own. Excellent stuff. Right. How fast are we going? Well, there's the speedo down the bottom there from 0 to 140, I presume, kilometres an hour. Feel the speed. Does it stack up with Chase HQ? No, it doesn't. Does it stack up as a minigame on its own? Well, maybe just. But it just hasn't got the speed, has it, really? And the colour scheme is bizarre. Player killed. Well, that's great, isn't it? It's not very good when you get... How did I get killed? I'm still in the car. Maybe someone threw a snake on board or something. We'll have one quick go of this, and then we'll go to the next one, which is an overhead shooter, which was a little bit flawed on the Amiga version, where you have to actually enter a mansion, and then the first person shooter, stage 4, you're actually in the mansion shooting bad guys. Dun 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 bom 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 bom, etc. Is this game got anything to do with Beverly Hills Cop at all? No. Axel Foley only sort of like appears on the loading screen. You won't see him during the game at all, or any of the other characters. Who is it? Rosewood, Rosebud, Rosewater, one of those. But anyway, yeah. Bear in mind, this is the best stage of the game. Excellent. I hope you heard those skidding noises there. That was quite exciting, isn't it? The game did not have a sequel, despite the film having 2 sequels, Beverly Hills Cop 2. The third one, what was the third one called? It was called Beverly Hills Cop 3. Yes, not a 4th one at the moment. I think there's a reboot, there's a TV series, wasn't there, based on Beverly Hills Cop, or did I dream it? I think there was. I've never seen it. I don't like the idea. I might have made that up. Right. This car's not getting any quicker. Nice bit of smoke coming out the back occasionally. I like that. That's a good bit of attention to detail. But I'd be very surprised if when they started coding this driving thing, they thought it was going to end up in a compilation of minigames called Beverly Hills Cop. I'll be extremely surprised. I mean, I feel like I want to change that to high gear. I feel like it's stuck in low gear or something. Quite uninspiring. From the screenshots, it would look quite good. Playability, very lethargic. I might fall asleep at the wheel here, which is never good to do. Let's just crash into this van deliberately. They're throwing stuff at me as the door's opened. Right. Yes, let's get out of here to the next stage. Right, here we go. We want to storm the mansion, which is an overhead shooter, I believe. Loading. Right. Overhead shooter. Here I am on this purple path. And we've been shot by that bloke, but we shot him at the same time. Right, okay. So the trick with this is to shoot people as quickly as possible before the computer can react with the AI to get you. Right, here we go. Sideways on, shoot him, get out of the way. Yeah, so we left the screen and he's forgotten we exist. Just like normal stealth. Right, we can't go that way. Right, so we need to get back on here. As soon as the screen scrolls, shoot that fellow, because his eyesight is very limited. Hello! Boom. Oh, we turned around. That's good. And got a pellet in the head. So that's 2 of them done. Let's head towards the mansion, wherever that may be. Actually, this stage isn't too bad either, is it? I could have taken this as a game as well. I think they should have developed this. Yeah, the driving game's good, and this is good. They should have developed this as a game. This could have been quite good. A bit like Saboteur, but in a slightly different way. This is actually better than the Amiga version, believe it or not. That's not a way forward. Right, okay, so this is my favourite. The Amiga version had an odd targeting system. This seems to have abolished that, and you're just controlling it with the joystick, which is a lot better, a lot more intuitive. Yeah, I like this bit. Anything to do with Beverly Hills Cop? No. Right, this guy's firing at me. He could be a problem. Yes, I'm dead. Deader than a can of Spam. Right, let's go this way. Take that. Good. I don't know how we avoided the bullets there. Up here. Now, we must be in the upper gardens towards the mansion. This goat bloke. Yes, good. He's down. So there's a lot of henchmen here trying to prevent us from making any route to being successful. No, can't go that way. It's like a force field up here. Dun 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 dun. Do your own music. Dun 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 dun. I don't tend to put up music videos because I don't know. There might be a change of the rules. I like to feel that I'm putting some input in, but there are other videos up there if you're interested in the music. Right. There's no music, in-game music. It's just the music at the start, really, the menu music, and that's probably the best bit of the game as well. Whoops, 2 guys now. Firing diagonally. It's going to be hard to get these chaps. I need really a hand grenade, but I don't think there's any available. Walking on and off doesn't seem to help. Maybe I can just... Oh, I've got the big one. Right, let's get out of this stage. I think you've seen this. Retry or reset. Well, reset and a bit of editing by me. Okay, now, the last stage is inside the mansion, which transpires as a sort of like a first-person shooter, not of the quality of Doom. Here we are. Now, there's a lot more colour in this version than the Amiga version. Anyone that turns up, we've got to put these crosshairs on and shoot them. We can check rooms for people, because there might be either hostages or enemy to shoot in there. This bit works okay as well. A little bit flat. Not as good as 3D Monster Maze, or 3D Pac-Man, or Zigzag. This should have been good if they kept this to like maybe a type-in adventure and this exploring as well. So that's how this bit of the game could have been good. Right, there's a room with lots of fires in it. So yeah, this would have been good as I say, type in east, well, move the joystick going north, east, south and west, and then occasionally there'll be a person or you have to buy a spell or type something in or something like that. That's how this bit would have worked, but they've bunged it in here. Again, clever coding, how people turn up and shoot at you, but ultimately boring. Yeah, you wouldn't want to watch Beverly Hills Cop after watching this or playing this game. And equally, I think if you'd seen Beverly Hills Cop the movie and be really into it, and then played this, I think you would have been a bit disappointed. It isn't a bad game. It's just 4 very different games welded together of differing quality, and they're all just lacking a little bit. They also seem slightly unfinished, as if there's something else that needed to be added, but they didn't bother. It seems like, you know, it's getting on towards being okay. I mean, the first one, as a beat-em-up shooter thing, seemed to be almost working, though it was a little bit difficult. The driving game was too slow. The one where we were overhead shooter, that trying to be a bit like Commando or something, that was almost there. Maybe you needed to be stage-based and end-level bosses and stuff, and a bit quicker. And this one is just, well, clever but yawnerama, and that's pretty much all I can say for this game. So we won't be playing this too much longer, but I hope you liked having a look at it. Of course, let me know what you think. If you owned it back in the day, you probably hold it in quite higher regard because of the nostalgia goggles, and there quite often is a lot of the cases, a lot of things that I'm not doing properly. I have to admit that, hold my hand up, because it's the first or second time I've played it. Yeah, I think we'll leave that there, actually. So I hope you liked having a look at that one. That was Beverly Hills Cop on the ZX Spectrum, published by Tynesoft in 1990 and based on the film of the same name. If you've got any comments about this game, similar games, or anything retro, then please put that below. A huge thank you to everyone that's subscribed so far. It's a big help pushing it forward. If you want to help a bit more, of course, there's patreon.com/njenkin. Every bit really does help, and I really mean that to keep the channel going. Until next time, take great care of yourself, and a very fond goodbye.
Goodbye.